Are you ready to break free from life's chains? Welcome to the Set Yourself Free podcast, now live in the metaverse. Discover powerful strategies to overcome challenges, boost your confidence, and unlock your full potential. From conquering the fear of success to managing holiday blues, we've got you covered. Learn how to let go of emotional baggage, practice proactive crisis management, and celebrate yourself with positive affirmations. Join us on this transformative journey and discover the freedom within you. Set yourself free, your guide to a happier, healthier you. Visit our metaverse studio today and start your liberation.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Set Yourself Free podcast, where we reclaim our lives and redefine our legacy. I'm your host, Cleo, and today we are diving into an important topic that builds on our last episode, which is about reigniting your passion and your dreams. So listen, guys, here's the truth. Starting a fire is one thing, right? When you're talking about your dreams, your goals and dreams. But keeping it burning, that could be a challenge, right? So that's where the real work begins, and that's where we're going to start today. So we're going to focus, today's episode is called From Spark to Flame, Building Momentum After Reigniting Your Dreams. And together, we're going to explore how to take small daily steps that not only keep the fire alive, but turn it into a steady and lasting flame. I don't know about you, but that sounds very exciting. So let's get to it. So for the first part of this episode, we're going to talk about why passion alone isn't enough. Okay, so last week we talked about reigniting that flame. And so once you reignited that flame, you kind of get this like burst of energy, this spark. You're reconnecting with something that you love. You're excited about it. You know, it could be anything in general, whether it's writing, starting, working on improving your communication skills, working on your relationship issues, starting a business, picking up a hobby that you used to have before, or just overall making a healthy lifestyle change. The whole entire thing sounds exciting and you're invigorated about it. But sometimes that spark and that fire can burn out, right? It might feel amazing, but then it just kind of fizzles out. So let's talk about, the fact that our dreams don't die because they're impossible. They die because we stop feeding them. Again, I'm going to say this. Our dreams don't die because they're impossible. They die because we stop feeding them. And passion can't turn your dream into fulfillment without action. So, again, passion, right? That desire that you have, that burning desire, that spark, that flame, it can't turn your dreams into fulfillment without action. So let's think about like a campfire, right? So you strike a match and you get flames instantly, but without consistently adding wood to the fire, keeping watch and tending to the fire, what's going to happen with the fire? You're absolutely right. It is going to fizzle out. And the same goes for our dreams, guys. If we don't tend to our dream, if we don't take action consistently, it's going to fizzle out. We're going to lose the motivation. So let's talk about part 2, which is the power of small daily steps. The key is momentum. And momentum isn't about just a huge, massive impact. It's about taking small steps and being consistent with those steps. And those small steps or those actions eventually compound over time and it becomes something big. It becomes something amazing, something transformative. So how do we do that? Let's start with first setting small goals, as I said earlier, right? Our goals have to be small, but yet realistic, and they also have to be attainable. So instead of taking a big chunk and saying something like, I'm going to write a book, and we've been wanting to write the book for a long time, and it just becomes like a daunting task, why not just break that down into smaller pieces and say, hey, listen, I'm just going to write for 10 minutes a day. And eventually over time, those 10 minutes every day leads to the book that you've always wanted to write, right? You started, you took action, you were consistent with the action, and then you got the fulfillment, which is that book. The other thing you want to do along the way is to track your wins. Write down all the things that you have accomplished and then celebrate them. And that's big for me. I absolutely am big on encouraging people to celebrate their wins along the way, big or small, celebrate them, because that's how you're going to stay motivated. That's how you're going to continue to build momentum, is by seeing your progress. You got to see your progress, right? And seeing that progress keeps you motivated. Then I want to also encourage you to engage in healthy habits, right? So consistent habits spill into other areas of your life. So if you start waking up earlier, exercising, making sure you get enough rest, journaling, practicing some self-care, these little things can eventually assist you with achieving your bigger goals. It's developing healthy habits. And then last but not least, listen, guys, along the way, things are going to be challenging, all right? You're going to face obstacles and you might make missteps, right? But guess what? Your imperfections is what make you perfect, right? So embrace your imperfections, right? Don't wait for the perfect moment, don't wait for everything to fall perfectly in line. Just remember that, people say this all the time, progress, not perfection. And let me tell you, progress beats perfection every single time. So, striving for perfection could actually be a setup to keep you in the same spot. But if you break free and look at your progress rather than perfection, I said that wrong, then you're going to see your progress and you're going to stay motivated. Okay, y'all. So I know that was a lot. And so let's take a little break and take a listen to my AI motion works.
The spark is only the beginning. Hey fam, it's Cleo. I'm inviting you to the next Set Yourself Free podcast, where we'll dive into how to keep your dreams alive by building momentum with small daily steps. Join me live inside my Set Yourself Free studio in the Hello Plaza metaverse. Join from any device, yes, even your phone, and be part of the conversation in the metaverse or catch it streaming on all social media platforms.
Okay, guys, welcome back. So let's talk about the third part of this discussion, which is overcoming the lack of motivation. Hey, that happens. It's part of the process, right? We encounter times where we're highly motivated, and then we encounter times where we're not so motivated. So how do we overcome that? Listen, when those days occur and your fire feels like it's dimming out, know that it's normal. Okay. But the other flip side to that is that we do have the ability to pass through that dimming moment, and we are capable of pushing through it. So let's see how we can do that. First, we want to lower the bar, right? So what that means is simply shrinking your commitments down. If it seems like it's overwhelming, how can I make it smaller? Make it bite-sized pieces that's actually going to get me where I need to be. So shrink it down. So if you can't do 30 minutes of writing, going back to um, earlier. I know I said 10 minutes earlier, but let's say, for example, you made a commitment for 30 minutes. Break it down to 10, right? Um, and that way you are, if you, or just if that's challenging, to say, hey, I'm just going to write a few sentences, right? So we're taking the time away and we're taking it down to, writing a few sentences. The point is, even though it's not the biggest portion of your goal, it's still a step in the direction towards the goal, right? So at the end of the day, the point is to be consistent. So I don't feel as motivated today. Instead of doing as much, right, as 30 minutes, maybe I'll just write, a paragraph, you know, so staying consistent. The other thing I'd like to share is to remember your why. And I think that's important with everything we do in life, whether it's our career, whether it's because, and I say that because in our careers, sometimes we can experience burnout. Sometimes even for me who work in the counseling field, you can experience, compassion for fatigue. And so you want to make sure that when you get to that point, you remember your why, revisiting the reason why you started and why you reignited this dream in the first place. Write it down, say it loud, say it proud, and keep it close, right? So again, it's just another step of motivating you, is having that visual representation of your goals and your dreams that keeps that flame going. And listen, guys, I don't know about you, but it's absolutely amazing to have someone support you while you're on your journey of chasing your goals and your dreams. So the next step is to get yourself an accountability partner. Okay. So this person could be a mentor, a friend, family, hell, a community. Maybe someone who is in your spiritual realm, like your pastor or your church, whatever you look into spiritually. Getting that person to be there with you so that you can share your progress with them, and then remind them, and they can also remind you of your goals so that you stay focused on your goals. So having a support network is highly instrumental in keeping you on track, and of course keeping you motivated. We all need that little extra, cheerleading team to get us to the finish line. And last but not least, and this is in alignment with what we just was talking about, is keeping the flame alive, right? So sustaining the momentum to achieve our goals is not, or our dreams, is not only about willpower, right? It's about creating an environment where progress becomes natural, right? It's creating an environment where progress becomes natural. Again, that goes back to what I talked about earlier, which is celebrating those wins. And when we celebrate those wins and we have a support system in place, we're creating a space where our progress is natural. And by extension, we are actually allowing it to be a normal environment for ourselves. So how do we ensure that our we're keeping that flame alive? Well, part of that is knowing what our systems are. What systems do I have in place to support my dream? I listen to some really amazing coaches who actually helped me put together this podcast, have been with me for a long time. This is the Hello LLC with David and Tara. And one of the things that they talk about with regards to business is what systems do you have in place in your business? And it's the same thing for your dreams. What systems do you have in place? What system do you have in place that's going to make your business efficient, effective, and cause you to do less work. And so the same thing goes for our dreams. What systems do we have in place that is going to make it effective, efficient, and get us to the goal? So again, you got to set time aside to look at removing the systems that aren't working. Okay. Whether it's your business, whether it's your dreams, whatever. Is it are those things distractions, you know, and removing those distractions, right? Anything that's a barrier to your goals, you got to take a look at it, find out what it is, and remove it. And again, you got to surround yourself with people who inspire you. So again, setting a time aside to really do that assessment of where you are in achieving your goals, what systems are in place, removing the barriers, and then surrounding yourself with people who inspire you. Remember, our dreams don't have to take place in giant leaps. And I think that's part of the thing that gets us hung up, is that we want to see things come to fruition immediately. We want that instant gratification. And it has to be big. We're built on the whole go big or go home, right? But guess what? It's not always about that. It's about the steady things and the consistent things that we're going to do that's going to fuel our goals, that's going to get us to the finish line. So small sparks, tending to the flame daily, and eventually that flame grows, and it not only lights up your entire life, but it transforms it as well. So in closing, guys, if you have recently reignited a dream, don't let it slip away. Don't let it slip away because of lack of motivation. Don't let it slip away because you just don't have the energy. Just don't give up, right? Tend to it. Add wood to it. Add the time to it. Protect it, and most importantly, feed it with positivity. And to help you carry this and to help you ensure that this is effective for you, I want you guys to take some things that can help you with self-reflecting, that can help you really take some action, right? So first and foremost, ask yourself or self-reflect on what small daily steps can I take this week that will keep my dream alive. The next one is, what's my why? I told you that's big. What's my why behind this dream, behind this goal? And how can I remind myself of it when my motivation fades? What can I do to keep that spark alive? And last, who or what in my environment can support my momentum? Who or what in my environment can support my momentum? Write these down, sit with them, see what comes to mind for you. And over time, these small, faithful steps that we talked about earlier that you will take will transform your passion into momentum and momentum into transformation. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today on today's episode of Set Yourself Free. If this message resonated with you, please feel free to share it with someone who needs encouragement right now. And if you haven't already, check out my Biz in the Box at setyourselffree.io. And don't miss our next upcoming episode. We've got some powerful conversations that's going to be coming soon. So until next time, remember this. Your spark is valuable. Your flame matters. Keep tending to it and watch how it lights the way. Until next time, if you don't know who I am, check out a little bit about me.
Welcome to Set Yourself Free Life Coaching. We guide women who are overwhelmed with being emotionally stuck to get unstuck, so they can reach new heights of their full potential. We believe that everyone has the power to create the life they desire, but sometimes we need a little help along the way. That's where we come in. We provide personalized coaching and support to help you overcome your obstacles and achieve your goals. Our coaching program is based on the principles of positive thinking and self-empowerment. We believe that by changing your mindset, you can change your life. We will teach you how to identify and challenge your negative thoughts and replace them with positive ones. We will also help you develop a strong sense of self-worth and confidence. Together, we will create a personalized plan to help you reach your goals. We will work with you on your specific challenges and provide you with the support and motivation you need to succeed. If you are ready to break free from the past and create the life you deserve, then contact us today. We would be honored to help you on your journey.